Are you a tech professional searching for a new company to share your tech skills with? Well, then you should check out Hired. Hired connects talent with top tech companies. On Hired, software engineers and designers can get 5 interview requests in a week or more. And since they work with over 2,500 companies, from startups to large public companies and employers from 12 major tech hubs in North America and Europe, you're bound to find the right position for you. If you use our special link, hired.com/the404show to sign up, they'll double that bonus when you accept a job. That's right, you heard me correctly. They'll double the $2,000 thank you bonus when you sign up at hired.com/the404show. If you're not looking for a job but know someone who is, you can refer them to Hired and get this, a $1,337 elite bonus when they accept a job as well. What are you waiting for? You like working? You like money? Check out hired.com/the404show. Big shout out to Hired for sponsoring the program. Hey, welcome everyone to the 404 Show on this Friday, October 16th, 2015. The best month of the year continues, in my opinion. Halloween is around the corner, which, as you know, is the greatest holiday ever incepted by man.
Do you have a costume idea already?
I do.
Do you want to share it?
It's a little traditional this year. We're doing a family thing.
Oh.
Because I have a baby.
Sure.
First off, hi, Russ.
Hi.
Hi. Now that we got that out of the way.
Phew, that was a close one.
We're going to do like an Addams Family thing.
I was going to say, I would have guessed Addams Family because you love the Addams Family.
So we like Addams Family.
So is Dylan pubert?
Yes.
Okay.
He is going to pubert so hard.
I think that's acceptable.
So if you don't know, and I don't know why this film is not appreciated as much as it should be.
They're both phenomenal. Both of the movies are real.
We're going to say the word phenomenal for the second one?
Yes, 100%. I might possibly like the second one more because the camp stuff is so excellent.
The camp stuff happens to be really good.
And Pubert is all in the second one.
Yeah. He is Pubert. Anyway, Addams Family 2, they have a kid. They have a baby named Pubert.
Yes.
And it's like this little, how would you describe him? He's almost like a China doll.
Oh, yeah.
In a weird way.
Well, he has the caked on makeup.
Yeah, he looks like a porcelain stackable.
And he has a mustache, right?
Yeah, he grows a mustache at the tender age of like 1 month.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to obviously be Gomez. Stacy's going to Morticia herself.
Is she like big wig or?
Yeah, we're going to do. No, come on. We're going to do the wigs. We're going to do.
What's the situation with your beard, though?
No, he doesn't have a. Oh, my beard? Guess what? Gomez is going to have a beard. He's going to have a red beard.
Big red beard.
He's going to have an inexplicable red beard to go along with his wiry jet black mustache and hair.
Yeah.
And then Morticia, my wife, Stacy, she'll rock that. And then we already have costumes for little man. We're not putting him in a wig because that's messed up, right?
Sure, I guess. Yeah, right. Because he has like Gomez hair, right?
Yeah, he's got Gomez hair.
Okay, sure.
I don't want to draw on him. I don't want to do anything to him. Okay?
Understandable.
So, but we're gonna give him like a mustache pacifier.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
very smart.
So we'll do that, and then we'll do
and then his jumper.
He's got like a spider on his jumper.
Yeah,
which is like it's like a little Pugsley kind of jumper.
Yeah.
So that's it. We're
fantastic.
Psyched. Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Do you have like a creepy pram to push him around in?
Pram?
Yeah, it's a stroller.
Is that like the old Victorian sort of stroller?
It's short for perambulator.
Shut up. Yeah. You're making it up.
Yeah,
where do you get this crap?
That's what they call it in England.
All right. Because you're such an Anglophile.
Yeah, big time.
All right. So, yeah, what about you? What are you and Alex doing?
We have not nailed it down because we've been very busy.
You have plans? Do you want plans?
We do have plans.
Oh, forget you.
We did get invited to a party. But yeah, we haven't nailed it down. We might do like something Adventure Time centric. We both like that show a lot.
All right, I'm not trying to rain on your parade.
Is it done?
No, it's not. I'm sure it's obviously overplayed, but
Sure.
Like,
Maybe like B-list Adventure Time characters that only show up in one episode.
yeah, like one-off guys.
Yeah.
You do whatever you want.
Okay.
My feeling, and I am preaching right now. So
Sure.
if I'm in your ears right now, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little Halloween preachy.
Uh-oh.
But your Halloween costume
Needs to be scary.
needs to be effing scary.
I mean, there are scary characters in Adventure Time.
That's fine. Like people
There's
who
like a
like
lich
they
that's
hold
pretty
their
scary.
own eyeballs and stuff like that. That's
There's
cool.
a lich. He's got like a scythe and he's a skeleton and he breathes fire. He's scary.
Do that.
There's a lot of work.
Like people dress up like, you know how many pizza rats they're going to be this
Oh
year?
yeah, it's gonna be a lot of.
So what do you think? It's going to be pizza rat? It's going to be like Trump?
Here's the issue. Here's my rule of thumb for Halloween. Even though I like the holiday, my chief concern for a costume, I just want to get over that hump of like, okay, this person clearly didn't try, so I want to be above that, but I want to be below this costume is determining how much fun I have tonight because I have to carry around like a goddamn bathtub.
Right. It's got to be practical.
Practical.
That's a huge element in
Yes.
Halloween.
I think that's right up there with like good like I need a practical costume.
Right. Something you can move around in.
Yeah.
All right. But what do you think are going to be the most common things
I agree.
this
Pizza
Halloween?
Rat, Trump. I don't know what else is in the zeitgeist these days.
But the zeitgeist, the turnover is so quick, you almost forget.
I
Like
know,
something
'cause
that
of the
happened in
internet,
March,
right?
Right. Something would happen in March.
I don't even know March exists anymore. It's so
Right.
far away.
Who remembers? Like what happened?
Right.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, I literally can't think of like. You just have the election going on. There were no miners to save.
Yeah, there was none of that. I'm doing a quick search on the internet because there's always like someone who's been making a list the whole time.
Yeah.
So people are going to be doing Netflix and chill. So some asshole's going to be wearing a Netflix shirt
I
and
do
holding
know
a bag of
there's
ice.
a party in Williamsburg, I believe, which seems appropriate, but it's run by a friend of mine, and all the costumes are internet memes. So you have to go as an internet meme at the Bell House. So
And-
I'm sure that'll be a big one.
That's
there.
not bad. A lot of people are like, zombie Jon Snow is going to be a thing.
Yeah, that seems a little dated at this point. That ended like 4 months ago.
This website says that weird multicolored dress that nobody could tell the color
Yeah, that's
of.
definitely
That's
dated. That
gonna
was
be-
vanished from my mind.
But think about it.
You're
like,
gonna walk around in a dress, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, you just have a dress on."
no, but if it's that weird, is it white or blue thing?
But that only happened because of the photo and the lighting in that photo. It doesn't work all the time. It's not like if you saw that dress on the street, you would think the same thing.
I think I would remember it because the picture they have in this thing is like it fading from white to blue.
Okay, how do you do that without future technology?
No, it's
Is
like
it
a
like Freaky
gradient. It's like a
Freezies?
gradient. You don't think that
maybe.
could work?
I'm sure it'll be a costume, but the other important thing is you don't want to have to explain your costume. Like
No,
you feel
that
like an
happens
asshole
all the time.
all night.
It's all the time.
It sucks. That sucks.
Ugh. So yeah, Netflix and chill. I feel like is going to be such.
How do
a
you
thing.
dress as that?
You wear a Netflix shirt and hold a bag of ice.
Oh yeah, lame.
I know it's really bad. It just seems silly. A lot of Star Wars stuff this year.
Oh yeah, Star Wars will be
Minions.
big.
Oh, save me from the Minions.
Yeah, enough already.
All right, Halloween aside.
BB-8.
Oh, maybe some BB-8s.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. Let us know what you're dressing up as this Halloween. The Back to the Future month continues,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
Still going.
It's still going on.
We just passed the date, right?
No, dumbass.
When was it?
It's October 21st.
Oh, 21st.
And look,
I always confuse it with the 15th.
why? I have no
I don't know.
idea. Maybe the 15 in 2015 doesn't matter. Because guess what I'm doing on October 21st,
Going
2015?
back in time.
Yeah. No. Guess who I am interviewing?
Oh my God, Doc Brown.
No. Way to me, probably more important.
Okay. Biff.
Do you see that song he wrote?
No.
So he kind of
I know he's a stand-up.
yeah, he's Thomas Wilson is
Yeah.
his name, and look it up on YouTube. He's got a song called "The Question Song." People, and
I
it's
have
just like,
seen it,
It's
yes.
people constantly berating
The
him
same
with like, the same
questions.
question.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't hang out with Michael J. Fox anymore.
Is it Michael J. Fox? Are you interviewing Michael J. Fox?
No, I don't know what
Are
I
you
would
interviewing the mayor of
Goldie Wilson.
Goldie Wilson?
No, not him. I for CBS am interviewing Bob Gale.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah. You know who that is,
I do
right?
know Bob Gale. Yeah.
Why don't you tell the listeners?
He was the screenwriter, right?
Yes, for all three.
All three of them. That's very exciting.
So
I like that you tried to catch me in my fronting lie that I don't know who Bob Gale is.
No, I just, we wanted a little bit of exposition so that we could perhaps, explain it to
That's
the audience.
That's very exciting.
I didn't want to say, I feel like I've been around the office today tooting my own horn about this. I am way more excited.
What's he been up to? Have you looked at has he been up to anything?
I did a little bit of reconnaissance on old Mr. Gale. And
no?
Judging from his IMDb, it seems like he is just reaping in the royalties from that trilogy.
Is he doing like the Rick Moranis thing where he just like sort of every once in a while does work and then chills out for a while?
I'm going to say sure.
You didn't see the Rick Moranis profile?
I did.
He just...
In the Hollywood Reporter.
Yeah, so he does some voiceover work every 5 years or whatever, and then he goes back into hibernation and like raises his kids that are now grown.
So
you didn't like that profile?
No, I did, because I just loved seeing a new photo of him.
Right.
It was like the biggest reason why I enjoyed that.
He looks the same. He looks a little older. But
go search for it. The Hollywood Reporter did maybe like 1,000 words, not even, with Rick Moranis. And they asked him specifically, why'd you say no to the Ghostbusters reboot? And he's like, I don't need to be in that.
Right.
Which I guess his answer about that was a little... maybe just upsetting to the fan in me.
Maybe. It's hard to, I think, get context or tone of voice.
Right.
I don't think he was dismissing it necessarily. Right. It was for him personally, like, he doesn't have an urge. I mean, the way you described it I thought was good, which is I worked on this thing 30 years ago. To come back and do like an hour's worth of work on it seems really weird.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know. And I don't think him being in it would have made the movie better or worse.
Louis Tully is a great character.
I'm going to say... In all honesty, I kind of 100% wish that the old Ghostbusters were not in the movie.
Because it comes off as like an endorsement?
No, it comes off as like maybe it's in my mind. I'm thinking back to the first Star Wars episode, the prequels, where they felt like they needed to like make nods to those characters. I don't know. Although Ernie Hudson can be in anything, that's acceptable.
I understand why you have this maybe unspeakable explanation as to why, you have an issue with it. Not that
it's not that I have an issue with it.
It just makes you feel uncomfortable.
And it kind of takes me. It's like breaks the fourth wall a little bit, and you kind of remind yourself, oh, this is a sequel to a movie franchise, and it just sort of takes you out of it. Whenever I see stuff like that, that's very like naughty to the camera. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy.
I understand what you're saying. I'm not. Everything I've seen about the new Ghostbusters, and I know if you're listening, you're like, damn it, these guys went Back to the Future to Ghostbusters. Is there anything else we talk about on this damn show? But I'm not. I'm actually looking very forward to this Ghostbusters movie.
As am I. And that's the other reason that I'm like,
right. Yeah, I kind of wish like maybe it was its own thing.
Sure.
All right, but going back to Bob Gale. I'm not nervous. I'm very excited.
Sure.
Like, there's a part of me that's like, man, so when you were watching this movie in 1989 when it came out, or when did 2 come out? 88? Something like that.
Yeah, probably like 88. 87, 88.
I was like, all these things came out in 89. All these things came to me and was like, oh, when this date really does happen, you'll talk to the guy who wrote this. Like, to me, that's crazy to think of that as a child watching this, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You don't think that's cool?
I mean, it's sort of cool. I respect the guy's writing. He's very talented. But, like, it's imaginary. Those dates didn't really...
Those dates existed.
Sure.
I mean, like, when I was watching Back to the Future...
When
I was watching Back to the Future 2...
Yeah.
I remember thinking, like, oh, man, I'm probably going to see October 21st.
Right. That's true.
If everything
that is
goes
exciting.
Well. And now on that date,
and he picked that date.
I'll get to,
Yeah.
So it's this weird paradox.
Are you going to wear a double tie when you do the interview?
Obviously. I do have a Back to the Future shirt. I don't think I should wear that.
Do not wear that.
Okay, good.
Don't be
I'm
that
glad
guy.
I vetted that with you before I actually did it. So there's also this paradoxical thing, right? Where like this movie set in motion a chain of events for the future. Like, So
like it changed the future
It
because
did.
people were like very conscious of like what was the
yes,
predictions were.
that is what I truly believe is a thing, and that's what I'm going to talk to him about too.
Technically, literally anything butterfly effect.
But
could do that.
But here's the thing, right? But here's the thing. I'm a big believer that it sounds crazy, but it seems like human innovation and ingenuity and progress in terms of technology has attempted to emulate science fiction futurism.
Yes, sure,
right? So like
definitely.
So
the Star Trek tricorder becoming mobile phones, etc. I think it's definitely a source of inspiration.
So in itself, that notion has these paradoxical features where you are making a film that takes place in the future, but unwillingly and indirectly at the same time are shaping our future.
But you understand what I'm saying when I say literally everything does that.
Yes.
So I understand.
Everything does do that.
Sure.
But when you have dates and when you have stuff like this, it's like,
okay,
come on.
I sort of get it.
You don't think that's a fun thing to bring up to Bob Gale?
Yeah. Oh, it's an interesting question. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'm being too clinical about it.
Yeah, you're being way too lame about it.
Sorry. I guess I've seen that movie Butterfly Effect too many times.
So, look, I'll give you a perfect example.
Sure.
The whole Cubs thing.
Okay. So what you're implying
No.
is that the Cubs tried extra hard.
No, not at all. And
Okay.
I'm not saying that.
Sure.
I'm not saying that this movie in any way, shape, or form changed the outcome of this baseball season. It most certainly did not.
Okay.
I'm not a goddamn idiot. Okay. But at the same time, like this thing is now it's now a thing.
It's now a thing. And there's a lot more people rooting for the Cubs because
they just want this to line up with the movie.
Right.
Now, say what you will, the Cubs have been shitty for a while.
Yes.
They haven't won a World Series in like 100 years.
Well, and that's why they were in the movie. It was a joke about how bad they are.
Right. And I'm not saying that the film set in motion a chain of events that would lead to the Cubs winning the World Series. Of course, they can't win the World Series by October 21st. But it's just kind of fun, right?
It's cute.
It is strange that they're making it this far in this year.
The odds are very
the
slim.
odds. I'm sure they were like 1 in 10,000 or whatever it is. Whatever you.
The odds of them making it to the NLCS is essentially they're in the Final Four, effectively.
Right.
So it's 4 out of 30.
Yeah. Well, but then factor in like how shitty they are.
Yeah.
And their odds
they've
going
been
down
good this year, but
So yeah, it's just stuff like that's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I
you
agree.
know?
Yeah.
I don't know what else. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited
other
to do
inspiration for questions?
Well, so like here's the thing. So
I want you to ask him about the how does he feel about the whole marketing angle? Is that too deep for him? Like whether he feels like everything's been co-opted? Like we were discussing that in the other show.
Yeah, I'm going to ask him I'm going to try and touch on that. I'm going to get geeky with him because we have like 30 minutes with him.
What is he doing? What is he promoting? Like a Blu-ray?
He's just celebrating. I mean, yeah, he's promoting everything because I'm sure he gets a nice fat paycheck after you buy a Pepsi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my buddy Vladimir Duthiers, who's the CBS correspondent, he already shot with Bob.
Got it.
And he's going to be doing
Bob now.
Yeah, he's a close personal friend. Oh, and also Alan Silvestri. I'm going to get to interview too.
Is that how you're going to start the interview? Just start it. Just acoustic recreation. It's going to be the most professional interview you've ever done.
They're going to be like, all right, Jesus Christ, get this kid off the set. So yeah, he talked to Bob Gale and Alan Silvestri about, the film, and they did a segment for CBS this morning that'll air that morning.
Yeah.
But for CBSN, the streaming thing, I think we're going to like the 60-minute set.
Whoa.
We're gonna sit down in front of the flux capacitor.
You and the insider
time
be
circuits.
Right there.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. I'll definitely post on Twitter when you can catch that. But yeah, I'm super excited, man. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's great.
Right? Aren't you excited about that?
I am excited for you.
I was gonna say, like, be excited for me.
I am internal. I internalize a lot. So.
Apparently, and you also like know how to spoil a good time for people who are trying to have one. Which leads us into the subreddit that Adranus 3 started regarding the sports almanac theory, which I will be asking Mr. Gale. Do you think the almanac should have been thicker?
Right. Very good question. We
And-
really need the prop expert.
Right, we need
weigh
that
in on
guy.
that.
But I think Bob Gale will be able to speak to
Because they
that.
do have those tiny Bibles where it's like written in like you need a magnifying glass to like read all the text.
Yeah.
So it could have been that.
I don't know. Andronius writes, could it be, since we see the book itself has flippable pages,
Yes.
that it was a Kindle/real book hybrid, which would explain its thinness,
Yeah.
yet having all that information?
So this is the reason I don't think it's that, unless the technology got so crazy to the point where you wouldn't be able to discern printed page from not, is that young Biff does not freak out when he's just like, what's this stupid magazine?
Yeah, and
he looks through it and he's like, meh.
He's like, good job, old man. You brought a book back. No, you're right. And that's what I wrote in the subreddit. H. Falfia writes, what about battery life? Flexible, thin battery that lasts decades?
Sure.
There you go. Don't forget, this book is also 15 years old in 2015.
Right. It's from
So
2000.
it's only 15 years older
Yeah.
than when the film takes place.
Right. Is it like on store shelves? Like that's a common thing people need in 2015? Is
This is
it
like-
2000?
Oh, it's in an antique store.
Oh, right. Antique store. Right.
Come on, Russ.
Sorry. It's been a little while.
Play ball with me here, bro. I go, it's clearly a book in the movie, is it not? And then we went on to talk about this.
Yeah.
Flexible screens, he comes back at me and I said, look, if it was a flexible screen, and just to reiterate what you just said,
Yeah.
would not old Biff have to kind of explain this
Right.
to young Biff?
Yes.
Where it's like, don't let this book blow your mind, but here's what it looks
Don't
like.
drop it in the sink.
So yeah, I'm also going to talk to him about like, hey, the second he gives him that book, shouldn't he have died right away?
Right.
That's just like a time paradox thing.
Well, but that I think goes to the like idea that Marty takes a while to fade out of existence as well. He's not an instant fade out of existence.
I think because in the timeline he's currently occupying,
Yeah.
it's teetering. on,
Right,
like,
and that's the
what's-
whole thing. It's teetering as to whether he's going to use the book or not.
Right.
So when he guarantee 100% is going to use the book, that's when old Biff breaks his cane and dies behind a garbage can.
He just fades away, which we'll talk about that.
And it has stomach pain.
Yeah.
When you cease to exist, you have some stomach pain.
Well, we talked about this last week, did we not? Where like he
A little
just
bit, yeah.
vanishes.
It's very odd.
It's weird, and you're like, oh, I guess time travel is just like tough on the old man. But no, he's dying. He's vanishing
Yeah.
from existence. Really cool stuff. I'm not going to spend too much time on Back to the Future. Too late, I know, but I'm just super excited to be able to talk to him, Mr. Bob Gale, on October 21st,
Yeah, it's very
2015.
cool.
That's pretty rad. We'll get to more subreddit at the end of the show. Thanks for everyone to contributing to our subreddit, being a part of the conversation. Let's kick it back to the rundown and see what else we got. There's an interesting story we're reading about from Microsoft. They're offering $200 for your old laptop, but $300 if it's a Mac.
I think it's pretty smart. And there was a brief moment where I was like, I have an old Mac. Maybe I'll do this.
This is like trading in guns,
Yeah,
basically, for
right,
the way they're
essentially.
looking at it.
But it's a promotion where you bring in your old laptop and they give you $200 if it's just like an old ThinkPad or whatever, and $300 if it's like a MacBook or whatever, MacBook Pro.
Because that $300 is to incentivize your
Switch.
Your
Just
switch.
Making the switch.
your conversion.
And I don't, for me, I don't know if you've met any of these people. I've never really met anyone that was like, I've been using a MacBook or Air or whatever for a while, and I'm ditching this in favor of Windows. Like, I have not heard of that switch being super common. Obviously, a few years ago,
Yeah.
there was that big campaign by Apple that was like, make the switch. Now, it kind of feels like Microsoft is forcing people to go the other way.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to happen a few times this iteration.
Yeah.
But, man, those Apple people,
I
I'm
mean,
looking at you.
We're sticklers. What can I say?
You're sticklers, and you're not very open to change. You're so...
Well, I changed one. I used to be a Windows person, and I
yeah.
changed once.
I mean, you have a gaming PC, too.
I
Let's
do
not
have
forget.
a gaming PC, that's true, but all I do is game on that. So in
Right.
terms of work and everything else, it's always on a Mac. And I made that switch once when I was like, this is like 10 years ago, and I haven't looked back. So what can I say?
I don't think...
They haven't given me a good reason.
So
to
here's
switch.
the deal, and we said this is a little last week. I think the person who is buying the new Surface Book is not someone who had a MacBook.
No, 100%.
I think this is someone who's like
they have a giant, ugly ThinkPad.
Something
and it's like
like
enough
that.
already. I'm going to get something that looks decent, is light, and I could use for work.
The computer's hot, man. We've had
it's
it here in
cool.
the lab. It's really a nice
really neat.
piece of equipment. But yeah, I can't see, Johnny Apple, who's got the MacBook, the iPad, and he's got an iPhone.
Yeah.
And now he's going to be like, all right, well, this Microsoft laptop looks pretty dope.
Not going to happen.
That's not happening.
No.
Maybe somebody with like a 6 or 7 year old MacBook who maybe doesn't, who maybe is open to the idea of.
And all they're using is like browsers and Word. Yeah, they want Word install. I mean, obviously you can get Word on Mac, but yeah.
I think there's room for that conversion to happen.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that's exactly what we're going to get.
They are putting their best foot forward.
Totally.
So good for them.
Interesting story there. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got a non-spoiler review of a new movie starring this guy Matt Damon, and he's a foul-mouthed rock and roll astronaut on a crazy foreign planet where there's all this water.
Aren't all planets foreign planets?
You shut up.
Except for Earth.
You shut up. You don't know. Get out of here. More 404 after this. This episode of the 404 Show is brought to you by Braintree. What's that, Russ Frushtick?
I believe it's the awesome cloud payments company.
Yeah, mobile cloudish payments. Guess what?
What?
They accept anything you could possibly pay. And using their...
Doubloons. Pirate doubloons.
Yeah, you know that currency in Adam's family?
Yes.
Doubloons! Yeah, they'll take those as well.
Awesome.
It's code for easy mobile payments. So if you have an app that you want to accept mobile payments for, well, guess what? Braintree is your mobile solution. They help take payments for companies like Uber, Airbnb, GitHub. Get on the same platform as those powerhouse apps. Braintree makes payments so fast and easy, it's basically magic. You can add it to your app with just a few lines of code, and then you're ready to accept payments like Apple Pay, Android Pay, PayPal, Venmo, my personal favorite, credit cards, and even the elusive, the hidden cryptocurrency known as Bitcoin. And if something else comes along, well, odds are they're going to figure out a way to accept that as well. Braintree's payments are fast, and continuous support means you'll always be ready, whether you're earning your first dollar or your billionth dollar. A lot of faith they have in their customers here.
Warren Buffett's out there.
If you want to check it out for yourself, visit BraintreePayments.com/CNET. One more time, that's BraintreePayments.com/CNET. All right, welcome back to the 404 Show, a CNET/CBSI/Product Hunt collaboration.
Whoa, look at that. We're bringing monster companies together.
So much support, emotional, monetary, every kind of support
Physical.
you can imagine.
Structural.
Backs this program.
There's hinges. Pulleys. Anyway.
We got some nice feedback this week from 404 listeners.
Oh, how nice.
Thank you so much for chiming in, for doing your tweeting.
Yeah, thank you.
I know our 404 Twitter account is not exactly what you would call active.
I don't even have the password to that, so it's all you, Jeff.
You know what it is? It's I don't know.
Can you just tie it? Why don't you just tie it to the RSS so people just use it for when the new episode comes out?
Can you do that?
Yeah.
How you do that?
I can't personally do that, but people have done it.
So you're telling me I can do something where that Twitter account tweets when the
new episode goes up, yeah. And then people can just follow us for our witticisms and various other things.
You know, the internet, it's a bright product.
Yeah. Because I don't even know when it goes up unless I check the URL.
Right.
Because you don't let me know. It's a mystery.
Yeah, that's the way I like to operate in mysterious ways. But yeah, thank you so much for reaching out and telling us how much the show you dig. It's important.
Yeah,
it makes us feel good.
It does. Warm and fuzzies.
And if you really want to take that extra step, open up your iTunes and give the show a review.
Mm-hmm.
That'll help us a great deal as well.
Yeah.
Someone was asking if we could change our
the image.
The image on TuneIn Radio.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
Me neither.
I have no idea how to do that.
Yeah.
Do you not?
It is pretty amazing because the image is not even from a generation ago. It's 6 years old.
It's like from 08
Because Wilson's
or
in
09.
it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
It's old.
It's just crazy, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get to your Martian review,
Yeah.
what you had a little move yourself,
I moved.
like from Earth to Mars.
Oh, I understand.
That's a move.
That's a segue.
That's right.
Yeah, I moved to Queens, New York.
To be closer to the New York Mets.
That was exactly it. We are pretty close. We were about a 10-minute drive from them,
yeah.
or a bus ride. So I moved. It is the first move that I've made in 9 years, and it was emotionally heart-wrenching. It's just like moving sucks, and I'm really glad I did not do it between those 9 years, because it was just, I mean, I don't yell at people. I'm generally pretty moderate, but when I'm like really frazzled or like upset about something, I just get super quiet.
Yeah. You're an introvert.
I mean, just in those circumstances where I'm like really stressed out. And there were multiple times when I felt really bad because like Alex, my fiance, would be like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "It's just a move. It's not you," or it's not. I was just like, I felt really bad. And literally, I didn't know when it would happen, but it was literally the second the movers left from our new apartment. It was like I took a giant poop. Like so much stress was relieved. And I was just like walking on air, and I felt great since. And I was like, and she was like, "You are like a completely different person compared to 2 days ago."
So normally I'd be making fun of you about this.
Yeah, but you know exactly what I'm talking about.
But I know, because moving is a terrible thing anyone
dreadful.
can be involved in. You always hear that adage where it's like, "Hey, the most stressful things someone can do is move, have a kid, or get married," and you did one of those, and you're about to do another.
Right.
So what was it for you? Like what could you not process and sort of rise above?
There's just so many variables in terms of like what's going to fit in the apartment. What we hired movers because we had to, because both buildings required it. But like, I paid a little extra for the quote full pack.
What does that mean?
So
White glove?
That means they show up the day of the move with boxes and like pack your shit for you.
Whoa! What?
Yeah.
And you were stressed?
Well, I was stressed because it's like, this doesn't seem 100%. Like the whole apartment was still like a total mess when they got there. I'm like, this doesn't seem right. Like,
how are they going to do this?
Right, exactly. And like people would come and visit, and they're like, "You're moving in 2 days?" We're like, "Yeah."
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So your place,
Yeah.
wasn't even.
I mean, here's what I did: is I unplugged all the electronics, and I like gathered the cables in like little baggies. So it's like, here's my Xbox baggie, and here's my PlayStation 4 baggie.
I'm ready to go.
The desktop, I unplugged basically all the electronics, and like put some clothes in the closet. That was like it.
And they just moved you.
They moved me.
So how much does this cost?
The full move was like $1,500.
Oh man, that's like.
I'm telling you,
Is it worth it?
Absolutely, 100%.
Every cent.
Because we moved the bed, we moved my giant couch, we moved a large TV stand and furniture. Like it, there was no way like friends of mine would still be friends of mine if I had asked them to move me.
So they come in. So how many people did this?
I think the crew was like 4 people.
So did they come in and you were scared they're going to be like, "Oh my God"?
Yeah. And actually, when they came in,
they're like, nothing.
"We don't have enough boxes."
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I let them know that there were some things that were staying, and they sort of got a little more confident, but
they were scared when
they were a little scared.
Oh, how long the whole thing take?
They got there at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
They left my old apartment at 1:30.
So it takes you 5 hours to pack up apartment.
Yeah. And to bring everything downstairs. And then the move in took like an hour once they got there.
Because it's just boxes.
It's just bringing stuff up, yeah.
And they don't unpack it, do they?
They unpack the like big electronics, and they rebuild the bed and like that stuff, but not like clothes and stuff like that, which is fine.
It's great.
It was fantastic. Like, and it was literally like night and day. And we have a balcony, and it like this great view in Queens, and overlooking the trees and everything, and just standing out there with them being gone. It was just like this like heavenly moment. It was really fantastic. So
good for you. I'm glad you were able to rise above.
I did have one issue though, is that so we have 2 bathrooms in this, 2 full bathrooms, which is quite a luxury. I was not expecting that. in this new apartment, one of the toilets, before it was even used, thank God, we noticed when you flushed it, it leaked out of the bottom of the tank in the back. So,
that's
water started
No,
coming.
that's what's supposed to happen.
It's normal. So we're like, oh, no good. So I contacted my super. She was very helpful and like put us in touch with, or, got a handyman to come by and take a look at it. So he came by this morning, and I'm doing work in my office and listening to music. I'm listening to actually Gloria. You know that song, Gloria? Gloria, do-do-do. I think I got your number, Gloria.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who sings that?
I don't remember.
Gloria.
It's also
Gloria.
notably on the Metal Gear Solid 5 soundtrack, which is what made me put it on my playlist.
Right. That's the wackiest soundtrack ever.
So I'm listening to that, and he's in the room fixing the toilet. He's in the bathroom, and I just hear him whistling to Gloria, and
Nice.
we like both shared this little moment loving Gloria, and he helped with a few other things. He was very friendly, and at the end of it, I didn't get his name until the end, and I'm like, hi, what's your name? And he's like, Taco.
Taco?
And I'm like, hi, Taco. He's like, Tato.
Oh.
And I felt like the biggest, the most white guilt moment I've ever had in my life.
You thought that dude's name was Taco.
And he happened to be Hispanic, but he was super nice. But I just felt like I'm sure that he gets that a lot from all these stupid white people where they're like, oh, your name's Taco. I eat tacos all the time. And I just felt like so guilty and like the blood rushed from my face.
Oh, your name's Taco? My name's Hamburger. How are you?
But he was very friendly.
But you guys are cool now? He's
we're
not going
cool.
to sabotage stuff?
Me and Tato are
Tato.
close. Yeah, are close.
Taco.
I felt very embarrassed.
Don't you know nobody is named Taco?
I mean, I thought it was an option. Maybe.
Crazy.
They're very close names together.
Taco.
He stopped me so quickly.
No, he's like, no.
No, it's
You
not
have an
Taco.
accent?
Yeah, a little bit of an accent.
I like Tato.
Tato,
He sounds
yeah,
cool.
He was a cool dude. He liked Gloria.
Gloria.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, let's pivot into some entertainment news of the week. We're trying to do this. We're trying to make this a regular thing where we watch something, whether or not it's brand spanking new, but we kind of want to give you a spoiler-free review of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This week, Russ is going to tackle Matthew Damon on Mars in The Martian.
In The Martian. I really like this movie. I don't know. You haven't seen it at all. I know you have a baby. You don't leave the house anymore.
That's not entirely true, you son of a bitch, but it's fine.
Are you bringing your baby to R-rated movies at 11 o'clock?
So that's the thing. You can't bring a baby, a 6-month-old baby, as well-behaved and as beautiful as a child as Dylan is. You can't bring him to a movie.
You can bring him to like 11 a.m. matinee of a kid's movie because it's accepted that everyone there is going to have an awful time. Like, that's just the rule.
Everyone just cries the second they get in there.
But no, you can't bring him to like The Martian.
No.
Really at any time.
Ever.
Because it's just, everyone's just going to be pissed at
They're
you.
going to be upset.
Yeah, I really like the movie.
Did you read the book?
I did not read the book. But based on the descriptions of the book, everyone told me that the book was written in the style of a Reddit post, which is to say like very naturalistic and full of curse words. And
yeah, because apparently the guy who wrote this book, and I actually have a little bit of like not a connection, but my brother's brother-in-law.
okay, at that point, I don't think you can even say
I know, it's like the end of Spaceballs when he's like, my cousin's former roommate. Right. No, my brother's soon-to-be brother-in-law.
Yeah.
I believed helped publish in some capacity this
okay.
something.
Sure.
Man, his company got the right.
So he walked by the building one time.
Maybe he knows Matt Damon personally, is what I'm trying to say.
Understood.
But anyway, said it was written, and also he was a game developer. This guy, he worked on StarCraft.
I don't remember what game
one
he
of the
worked on,
crafts?
but yeah, definitely in the games industry. And what I liked about the movie, and I'm sure the book is very close to this, is that it was weirdly very lacking in tension. It's not a movie. So the closest comparison people make is Apollo 13, which is obviously a real historic event that happened. But that movie is such a tension.
Oh my God, it's
like every minute is just like awful
it's like
tension.
that Met game.
And with The Martian, it's weirdly not, because like you're constantly like, oh, he's dead now. Like there's no way he's getting out of this. And then he's constantly like figuring out ways to get out of it, but not in like the air's running out in 30 seconds. I got to fix this like right now. He's like, okay, so I have 2 weeks. That's how much food I have left. I have these, materials on the base. I'm going to run out of water in 3 weeks. what can I use here? It's like almost a MacGyver episode,
Gotcha.
but without the gunfights.
Right.
So, and it just like felt very true. And then meanwhile, they have this whole story with NASA trying to like, whether, how they're going to get him back, if they're going to get him back, and how they communicate and stuff like that. And it's just like a very rational, grounded, it didn't feel like a sci-fi movie. It felt like this could happen next week, and the events would not feel out of whack.
So what makes it so good then if there's no tension?
I think what people find interesting, and what I found interesting, was like realistically, how would they solve these problems? And these...
Because it was just a bunch of logic stuff.
It's a lot of logic stuff, and it's stuff that would work with, like, they don't have crazy lasers, like, or future tech. The only future tech they have is they have a spaceship that can go to Mars.
Fast.
I mean, not that fast. It takes 8 months to go to Mars, even in the movie.
Isn't it supposed to take longer?
Or, yeah, maybe now it's... I don't know how long.
How far away is Mars?
Pretty far. Like, a few miles.
A couple miles.
So they don't have future tech, and, like, all of the clothing is not like... It's not like Back to the Future. They don't have future fashion. They just use, like, normal day fashion. And it just feels very grounded. There's a scene in Apollo 13 that I always think back to, which is they're like running out of air and they need to make a new filter. And the guys at NASA like spill out a bag that has like all the things that are in the space station. And they're like, okay, we have to use this stuff to make this thing fit into this thing.
Right. Classic Apollo.
Right.
Like with the air filter thing.
Exactly. So you're just like a very logic-filled moment. That's obviously tense because there's lives on the line, etc. But it's not driven by emotion, it's driven by logic, and everyone in the movie felt like a scientist that was like making scientific choices.
So it's fun. It's not scary.
I mean, no, I wouldn't call it scary. No, I found it interesting is the best way. It was almost like a more interesting Nova episode.
Yeah.
Like
if you want like the super nerdy, well, not nerdy, but like the very specific details about Earth to Mars interplanetary travel.
Yeah.
Mars's closest point to Earth happens every 1.5 years, roughly 1.6 years, and a direct flight would take about 260 days.
Okay, so that's not crazy. That's about what they were saying.
Yeah.
Obviously, the issue more important is the issue of like how do we sustain life for that long, and if they land on the planet, can they sustain life, and like where is this money going to come from, given that NASA's budgets keep getting cut. So there are, I think, more logistical issues, but they deal with a lot of that stuff in the movie, like the politics of like NASA existing and like how they need to release all of the state, like everything that he says, Matt Damon's character says and types back to NASA has to be publicly released. So there's funny moments where he's like cursing,
right? So
and they have to like publicly release that.
What do you think about all that stuff? Do you think we need to go to Mars? Like, do you think? I know this is like kind of curveballing you here. But do you think? I mean, I'm sure you ponder that watching this movie.
I have thought about that idea. It's tough, man, because it's like at a certain point you're kind of saying, do we need Mars or do we need to pay teachers more?
Right.
Or like, do we need better food in schools and stuff? Like, you have to, at the end of the day, you're making a choice. Now, granted, there's also like, can you cut 1% of the military expenses and have NASA's entire budget? Maybe, I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
So Mars is nice. I wouldn't mind it. But it's, I don't know. I'm not enough of an economist / world creator to make that call.
Takes a while to get there.
It does. Just send can't they just shoot GoPros at it and instead of sending
That's
super
essentially what the rover is.
Yeah, but it's way more expensive. So just shoot some GoPros at it with a BB-8 and you just roll it around.
That water stuff's crazy.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing people, it's funny when you watch NASA operate. They almost have to operate where it's like, we're relevant.
Right.
Look at us.
Yeah.
Look what we did.
Yeah.
And I feel like no one really is going to give them the time of day until they're like, we found life.
Yeah.
That's what they have to pull out of their
But don't
ass.
you feel like if that happened, one of the signals came back and they actually found life, don't you think another agency would instantly take control of that?
What do you mean?
Like
claim that
news? The NSA, or not claim the news, but in terms of
we're not finding beings, we're finding microbial
but even
things.
Okay, so let's say we found microbial things on Mars.
One cell,
legit
single cell.
Right. Let's say we found that on Mars. that's a week-long news cycle, and that's it.
Right.
And that's super depressing, but like...
And people are like, what? They found cells that are living?
Who cares?
They're alien cells.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's right. It is. I mean, it's cool stuff. It's just a little depressing given, like, I know how the news cycle would work, and it'd be like, oh, yeah, we found aliens, like legit aliens. Okay, see you around.
Yeah.
Guess what? Khloe Kardashian fell on her ass. So,
yeah, they're only...
story.
What? Speaking of single-cell organisms. No, what? They're only... Oh, they're only on a cellular level? Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, tell them to selfie us or something.
Was that a pun on cells?
No. No, it was not, Russ.
No.
We got to sell some advertising right now.
Oh, there you go.
More 404 right after this break. We'll finish things up with some love from the subreddit. We got Steam Machine stuff and a few more programs to speak about. More 404 right after this. Soft layer. How do you like how I said that?
That was great.
Ladies and gentlemen, a soft layer.
So it's like a metal band.
No, it's not a metal band, but I'm sure if you're a metal band and you need cloud infrastructure, you can use SoftLayer.
Probably.
Because SoftLayer delivers clouds support that's built to perform. Whether it's your business, your applications, your computational workloads, all of that is unique, so you deserve a cloud that meets your specific needs. SoftLayer is an IBM company. You ever heard of that?
Yep.
They do computers real well.
Internal business machines.
Is that what it is?
International business machines, something like that.
I would imagine international.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. IBM uses SoftLayer and its cloud infrastructure foundation for all IBM cloud products and services. This company's going places. Smart people work for this company. I met some of these guys. Really interesting stuff what they're doing. Right now, all of our listeners have the opportunity to get 500 clams off cloud infrastructure by visiting softlayer.com/podcast. What can that pay for? Bare metal servers. There you go. There's the metal. Virtual servers, storage, networking, anything you want from SoftLayer. Well, you get $500 off using softlayer.com/podcast. Get started today. Hey, welcome back to the show, kids. So this week, CNET.com, we put up a story about the Alienware Steam Machine.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't know what Steam Machines are, they are hardware that have licensed Valve's SteamOS.
Yes.
Which is a mobile operating system. Which is an operating system, that runs on a computer-like product that Steam, which is a PC gaming platform, distribution service, can run on and play games. We saw these machines come out a while ago, specifically from Alienware. They came out with one called the Alpha that had Windows on it.
Right.
So Steam was like the store. It had Windows on it. You hook it up to your TV. You use an Xbox controller. You play the game on your TV. And it's basically a console.
Right.
So now they're coming out with these strictly Steam machines, which don't run Windows.
No.
And they run Steam's operating system.
It's like a Linux-based operating system.
Correct. Which, here's the caveat, isn't compatible with nearly the amount of the games that are compatible with Windows.
Yes.
So this thing comes out, and we're like, all right, well, why would you... And so here's another thing. They have the same specs, for the most part, the same price.
Right.
What are you buying? Why?
Why would you do that?
And no one can give me a good answer as to why you would buy the SteamOS Steam Machine and not the Alpha.
Yeah, I don't understand it. If it's the same price, that doesn't make any sense to me at all.
I don't get it.
And I think for indie games, you're probably going to see a lot of like Steam OS compatible stuff. But for like big titles like Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty, I don't think this stuff is going to come to SteamOS, at least not at launch.
It's weird.
So like, I don't know what their argument is. I always looked at it on paper, was like, okay, Steam gets the cutout Windows, like they don't have to pay for licenses, and you get a gaming PC effectively.
Right.
And that's all it is. So it's cheaper, and it's a gaming PC, and you plug it into your TV, and it just does gaming for the most part.
Right.
But the second the price is the same and the same specs, like I don't know
why. I just don't No.
And they also came out with a controller.
Right. And if anything, that's the thing. But you could buy this separately.
And you can use the controller on Windows.
Right. They came out with a Steam controller. It's called the Steam controller. It has PC/mouse-like tendencies where the face buttons, or rather the face pads, where like the D-pad and they have another pad on the right side of the controller. They're touch sensitive, so you can kind of use your right thumb as a mouse in a way, if that makes sense.
It's like if you use the console controller, it's effectively the right analog stick.
Right, but there's touch involved in this one.
Right.
There is also a stick on the left side.
Yes.
I don't know. I played around with it a little bit. Not a huge fan of it.
Yeah.
But there you have it. Steam machines are real. They're out now.
I think the logic they had was that they wanted something that would work with, obviously controllers, work well with like first-person shooters, stuff like that. But if you're playing like a real-time strategy game, something like that probably wouldn't work super well with an Xbox controller. So they wanted something that would work for those games as well, but you're not feeling it.
Which makes the use case so small.
Yeah, it's very small.
There's only
these days, very small.
I don't know. We'll have to see how people respond to this. I just don't see them really doing well. I think if anything, this creates way more of awareness and willingness to get that first one that supports Windows.
Which, let's face it, I mean, Steam still gets money either way. So
for sure,
Valve
and that has me wondering, like, well, maybe this whole thing is just sort of like a weird licensing commitment that just has to be fulfilled.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't have a definitive answer. But if you're interested in Steam Machine stuff, head over to CNET.com. We've got the latest on the product that just came out. All right. You went to go back and watch some X-Files.
Yeah.
So you're going back and you're watching
the original season.
So how many seasons were there? 4?
Like 8.
Okay.
But it got really bad after about 5 or 6.
Okay. So where are you at now?
We're still in season 1.
Oh, okay.
So
why are you doing this?
Well, Alex had never watched the first few seasons. Like, she started around when the movie came out, which was season 5.
Gotcha.
And I haven't rewatched the early season in about 7 years or so it's been a while. And it really holds up. I mean, granted, some of the monster-y stuff is hokey, but most of it is like they do a really good job hiding the fact that their budget is not huge and they don't have like a lot of money. And those episodes are like super entertaining and awesome.
It's pretty rad. Don't forget, like, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, with, X-Files for me was like one of the first weird shows that I started to watch. I mean, I got into Twin Peaks a little bit. Yeah. But that was after the fact. I mean, I still love Twilight Zone. I still love these very strange kind of, offbeat sci-fi, make you think a little bit kind of stuff. Yeah. And X-Files was a big part of that in the 90s.
And they are bringing X-Files back is the other thing. The reboot comes out, I think, later, maybe December or something.
I didn't know if it was this year, but I am aware of the reboot.
Yeah, so the reboot is coming. I think it's a 6-episode miniseries, effectively. And I'm trepidatious because it's been many, many, many years since good X-Files existed.
Do you think Mulder's just going to be like this crazy crazed, like, monster?
Well, he did love porn. That was one of his big things, is that he loved porn.
Right, in the show.
Yes, in the show.
He was just fascinated by it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And obviously in real life he does like sex. And he was married to Tay Leone.
Are they divorced?
Yeah, they broke up. I think mostly because of the sex thing.
Right.
But it's an excellent show, and early on it's just like instantly charming. Their relationship is instantly
great
awesome.
Characters.
I've been also listening to Kumail Nanjiani's podcast, The X-Files Files, which, if you like X-Files, really excellent. He goes episode by episode and talks about each one, and really entertaining and funny. And so if you dig X-Files, or if you haven't watched it ever, go back and watch it. It's on, what's really cool on Netflix, it's HD. I guess because they shot it on film or
they must
whatever.
Have shot it on film, yeah.
Because it is full resolution HD on Netflix.
Some of those storylines, especially the one-offs, where it wasn't the overarching. Like, one of them's like abducted, right, or something like that.
I mean, that's a lot of them. What are you talking about? The overarching?
The overarching thing is like Mulder had
his sister was abducted and like finding out
was probed.
But the one we just watched the one off last night called Ice, which is like a nod to The Thing, the classic horror movie, and it's just like great interpersonal like reactions, and Felicity Huffman's in it, and a bunch of other actors.
Yeah, they did have great,
really great
starring.
guest stars, because none of these people have careers then. So just like really excellent. And we now know, obviously, a lot of the people on the X-Files went on to do shows like Breaking Bad. Apparently 2 of the writers went on to do the Final Destination series, which I find really interesting.
That sounds about right.
So yeah, I mean, it's great. It really holds up, and we'll probably stop watching around season 5.
Right, because you just kind of can give up then. Even though I remember the first movie being good.
Yeah, the first that was the end of season 5, and then the movie came out, and then season 6 has like a few good one-offs. There's like a great one on a boat, a ghost ship, where there's Nazis and they go back in time, and it's really super cool.
There's a lot of bees. Bees are a big part of that.
Yeah, that's like a big conspiracy thing, is the bees. But it basically becomes very clear that like the conspiracy that they created could not sustain 8 seasons, let alone 5.
Right. It's tough, man. It's tough to do.
It's tough. So they basically could still do good one-offs every once in a while, but then David Duchovny essentially was off the show.
Right.
And it just sort of fell on its face. But I have hopes. I really, just as long as, I mean, they look close enough to how they used to look.
Yeah, they're fine.
So
it's fine.
They're
both 2 very attractive people.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
All right. And then, so that's on Netflix. You can watch that.
Yeah,
you can watch all the season.
It's probably on Amazon too.
And then go on Amazon and watch Red Oaks. It's a new show that I started checking out. I forget what freaking time does it take place during? I can't remember if it's the 90s or the 80s. It's the 80s.
Okay. Late 80s.
Late 80s. Takes place a summer camp sort of thing. It's got like shades of Wet Hot in it a little bit. Just with like
Is it done straight, or is it like a parody?
No, it's supposed to be, it's a straight story.
Okay.
But I just love like the styling. Paul Reiser's in it. It's kind of cool.
What kind of show is it?
It's like a coming of age show about a college kid who's like finding himself.
Okay.
Set with like this Red Oaks kind of like summer destination as the backdrop.
It's
and like all the weird people that work there.
I understand.
And that sort of thing.
It's like the Gilmore Girls.
I don't know what the hell that means. Whatever you think that means.
Great
but
show.
it's on Amazon Video right now. If you're a Prime member, well, guess what? You got it for free.
That's great. That's the first season that's on there?
Yeah. I believe it's only 1 season.
I really enjoyed also another exclusive Amazon show is Catastrophe with Rob Delaney.
Oh, what's that about?
It's a BBC show about, or it was done in the UK and then brought over by Amazon. It's about an American business guy that hooks up with a woman in the UK, has a one-night stand with her, and then goes back home, and then she calls him and finds out she's pregnant.
Oh, wow.
And then he moves back, but it's like a very, kind of like a dark comedy, but like very wry and good. Very funny.
All right. There you have it. 2 recommendations. Yeah, I like the vibe. Richard Kind is in it too.
Oh, I love Richard Kind.
He's a funny dude.
Yeah.
Josh Myers also.
I don't know who
Seth
that is.
Meyers' brother.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just like this weird country club that they all.
I like those quirky.
They're just
like
quirky. Yeah,
like community things.
Totally.
Yeah.
So definitely check it out. 10 episodes, all available right now. It's short, 26-minute episodes. All right. Let us kind of parlay into the subreddit, reddit.com/r/the404. That's how you get in touch with the program. You could ask us questions, give us suggestions for the next show, anything you want to do. So let's go to the one for this week. Santaran97 says, have either Jeff or Russell seen Doctor Who?
Did he really say Russell?
You wrote Russ. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I just
okay.
added the LL. Whether or not you've seen it, what is your opinion of the show? He's curious. He or she is curious.
Sure. Okay, so you've never seen it, I assume.
I've been accidentally bumping into it on BBC America.
Sure.
And I'm like, what is this shit?
So it's, I'll
But I know people love it.
Yeah, so Alex, my fiance, absolutely loves it. It's very impenetrable. Like, it's really tough to get into. And what got me into it, there's like a few, like, similar to X-Files, there's like a handful of like excellent one-off episodes that like don't have a lot of goofy characters or like goofy costumes or lame special effects. They're just like good Twilight Zone, X-Files type one-off episodes. So those kind of are the ones to check out. There's an episode called Blink that everyone points to as like a good example of that.
Yeah.
For me, if you're interested, I would personally recommend skipping until the first season that Matt Smith started. I think that was season 5 or 4.
This is not.
But it's good. So that was the issue. Is like, for me, I got hung up on like the campy special effects and the costumes, and it feels like they didn't really wake up and on like ways to fix those problems until like season 4, whenever Matt Smith started. And I'm sure a lot of Doctor Who people would be like, "That's blasphemy. David Tennant's great," and so on and so forth. But
I think you pissed off everybody.
I'm sure I did. That for me, I'm like not being like a huge diehard Doctor Who fan, but enjoying it. Those were the episodes I was able to watch and really enjoy because there's like he's got a companion that's like good. She's a good actress and like good backstory, and it's a little more interesting than I think the earlier seasons are.
Yeah.
But as you said, it's super impenetrable. If you turn it on randomly, I would say 80% of the episodes you're going to be like, what the hell am I watching? You sort of have to get yourself a little bit into it first, like dip a toe in with like a more approachable episode. And then when they throw wacky shit at you, like sonic screwdrivers and stuff, you sort of can handle it a little better. That's literally a thing, a very common thing that comes up. So that would be my recommendation. There's a great episode written by Neil Gaiman called The Doctor's Wife, I think it's called. And so there are like excellent standout episodes.
I'm just not sure I'm ever gonna watch it.
I don't think it's for you, to be honest. I don't think it's your vibe. You're pretty dumb. So
thanks, man. On to the next story. So which Star Trek show was the best in your opinion?
Okay.
Is another question from this. I don't know anything about.
I know enough about Star Trek to know that I cannot voice an opinion.
Everyone loves Next Generation, right?
Next Generation is generally considered that people really like it.
What was Deep Space Nine?
Deep Space Nine was one of them that people like. Voyager was another one.
Voyager
is sort of like half and half.
All those are the best.
I never got hardcore into the Star Trek shows. I love Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, the movie. It's kind of a weird, forgotten about movie, I think, in the group of Star Trek movies. But yeah, I really like that movie. But I never got into the show. It was like the first kind of show that I got into that was like that was Battlestar Galactica, the new one. So
I'm surrounded by nerds.
Yeah.
What is your favorite scripted show currently on TV? I can answer that real easily. It's a show called Fargo.
Oh yeah, seconded. Fargo is fantastic. It's that first season was probably the best first season of television I've ever seen. I can't think of a show that had a better first season. Other close ones would be Lost.
No, I have an answer for that.
Breaking Bad had a good first season, but Fargo is 10 episodes of just like amazing writing, amazing acting, amazing cinematography and story. It's just like
what the hell am
outrageously
I trying to think
good.
of?
I don't know.
Such a good first season. Oh no, because I'm trying to think like drama.
You can be any. It could be anything.
Oh, I know.
It could be comedy. Rick and Morty had a great first season.
Rick and Morty had an excellent first season. I feel like I don't know. There's a lot of stuff on Comedy Central that had really solid first seasons.
Broad City had a very good first
Broad
season.
season had an excellent first season. It's up there, but Fargo right now is
Fargo's
untouchable.
Amazing. If
Fargo,
you watch Fargo,
like this season's looking to be better than the first one, which I can't even understand how they're able to do.
Yeah,
it.
I'm trying to avoid any marketing, anything.
So have you watched the first episode?
No, did it air already?
Yeah, it aired.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, you should do that.
Here's my issue with it's such an atmospheric, like involving show. Like it's like you're watching a Coen Brothers movie. Commercials are
destroy that show.
The bane of that, to the point that I'm probably just going to buy it on iTunes or something to avoid having to watch commercials.
Well, you just DVR it and fast forward.
Yeah, but even that, it's like
even that
takes me out of it a little bit. Yeah,
you need help, brother.
I know, I'm crazy.
Another question. Aside from posts in r/the404, would you consider yourself a poster or an observer on Reddit? As in, do you create new posts often, or do you mainly read other posts and comment on them? I tend to fall in the latter camp.
Yeah, I would say my ratio is probably like 20-1 in terms of comment to posting. But I don't.
I'm probably 500 to 1.
Yeah, and the only time I post, apart from the like random posts I do on the subreddit, is like sometimes I'll do like a Destiny Reddit post.
I try and do shower thoughts.
Oh yeah,
I don't really get those.
I
off
get
the
intimidated by those like huge subreddits because there's just so many
so many people.
It's like, oh, this is funny.
Yeah,
and I get frustrated when they don't do anything.
It's
But I have had stuff make it to the front page of Reddit.
You have.
Yeah,
that's your claim to fame.
I think twice I made it to the front page of Reddit.
I remember that. Believe me, you make sure everyone knows about it. Lastly, and this is all has been from Santaran 97.
Good
Thank
questions.
you. Lastly, in the theme of Halloween, do you think that kids nowadays are more difficult to scare than your generation? If so, why? Great question.
I would say yes.
I think that's just an evolutionary thing. I think like every generation becomes numb to horror to a certain degree.
I don't think the new generation is numb. I think they're
numb.
I think they're more exposed to scarier things earlier in life because of the internet, because of TV being so ubiquitous or whatever. Like they're gonna see horrifying like worms put in ears stuff when they're like 3,
right? And
then by the time they're 6, they're like, oh, I'll watch Friday the 13th. I don't care.
Blair Witch, of course.
Cares? So,
I think you're right. I think that's definitely a thing.
Those punk kids, they're gonna overrun us.
I don't know about that. They don't know how to talk to each other. Boo Jenkins writes in, of all the time travel movies and television shows, what do you believe got the actual core theory of time travel the most correct?
What is the core theory of time travel?
Like, who do you think exemplified time travel in the best fashion? Gotta say, he goes on, Back to the Future really made time travel, the idea of it, pretty cool and stylish, it being in a DeLorean.
Sure.
So what I guess he's asking,
are those the requirements? It's like cool and stylish, or like true to like the science of it?
What, like, yeah, like the science of it, or what entertainment property has presented the notion of time travel in the best light?
Okay, I don't know if this is an entertainment property, but the book / short story,
this works.
Sound of Thunder.
Huh? What's that?
It was oh my god, I'm blanking on the author's name now, but Google Sound of Thunder, you'll find it right now in 3 seconds.
A Sound?
I think it's A Sound of Thunder, and it's from, it's old, but essentially it's a story of time travel where what?
It's Ray Bradbury.
Ray Bradbury, thank you. I blanked on it. I knew it was something R. So whatever, it's a short story. It'll take you 2 minutes to read, but it's about people that go back in time to hunt dinosaurs effectively. And
for sport,
and they have to like stay on this path very strictly, and something goes wrong, and someone steps off the path, and something goes wrong, and then they go back to their current future, I guess, and things are not as they were.
It's a butterfly effect.
It's effectively the butterfly effect, but I feel like it was, you don't really see that level of thought as much. I mean, and there's the classic like the Time Machine, H.G. Wells and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I always found The Sound of Thunder like to be a really concise, because it's just a short story or a novella, I guess. But it's a very concise idea of time travel and shows all the potential repercussions because of it.
I always struggled with. I've never read this. I'm going to read it. I'll read it tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, I always struggled with some prolific authors and the way they deal with time travel, like Vonnegut.
Okay.
Who, on paper, I should love Kurt Vonnegut.
Sure. I love his writing.
I love his writing, but like some of his stuff, like his book Timequake.
Yeah.
Like I just couldn't do it.
Because the science wasn't matching up for you, or
it just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Maybe I have a problem reading and comprehending. Like I can't always suck down the whole thing. Like
right.
Sometimes I wander a little bit in my mind. And
me too.
And I have trouble.
Yeah, it takes me a while to get through books.
But I don't know. That's why short stories work way better for me.
Yeah.
And comics kind of work better for me
sure.
too, because they are, for whatever reason, able to capture my attention.
Yeah.
comics also get to the point quick.
Yeah.
They don't really beat around the bush. But either way, short story is definitely something that I could probably wrap my head around a little better. So I'm going to check out A Sound of Thunder.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, Sound of Thunder was published in 1952, and it made it into Playboy magazine in the June 1956 issue.
Wow.
I bring up Playboy.
Oh, yeah, relevant.
Because Playboy, ladies and gentlemen, is ditching nudity.
Yep.
They're putting clothes back on.
I think it's a smart move. Everyone freaked out and was like, this is stupid, or this is
It's
whatever.
a good headline.
It's not only a good headline, I think it's good for their business.
Of course it is.
Because, like, who is buying Playboy to see nudes these days?
Nobody.
And all the nudes did for them was make them, like, make you feel weird buying it in a store, or, like, they would have to be blocked in the airport by those, like, cardboard things that, like, block all the porn.
Right.
So whatever. Now it's like Maxim. I mean, I'm not going to go out and buy it, but I guarantee it'll A, help with their advertisers, and B, probably maybe help with their subscriptions.
I don't know if anyone's
that
like
even
going out of their way to
exists anymore.
subscribe to it, but
But,
maybe
like,
they'll get some
picking it up.
website stuff and,
Yeah.
maybe not feeling bad about picking it up for the
Right.
flight.
Right.
Their readership apparently in subscriptions is 800,000. That's like way more than I thought they would
That is
have.
a lot more than I thought.
But that's down from 5.6 million, I
Yeah.
think, at their prime, which is also not a lot.
Sure.
Again, it's a magazine.
Yeah.
Apparently they did this on the website first. They made the website safe for work, and then their traffic quadrupled.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
It's crazy.
I don't know that they're related necessarily. I mean, they also had, like, I think they had that interview with what's his name from Dark Knight as Jim Gordon.
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman, I think, was a Playboy interview.
Right, when he said
And that was like
talk shit about Fifth Element.
among other things.
Yeah. Dick. What a dick. I forget. I pretend that didn't happen. Yeah. So there you have it, folks. Before we say goodbye for the week, what is our product hunt game of the week, sir?
Product Hunt game of the week on producthunt.com/games. The game is called Downwell. It is a game that just released on Steam and iOS. Sadly, not Android quite yet.
Shut up.
It's a tough platforming game, kind of like Spelunky, where you're constantly falling down and you have a jetpack and you're shooting guys, but it's randomly generated and you're picking like RPG perks. And I absolutely am massively hooked on this game. I downloaded it last night and played.
You playing on your phone?
Playing it on my phone. I played it on the train ride over here. I'll probably play it on my train ride back. Just super great. Constantly you're unlocking things and new features, and
it's procedurally
generated, always new layouts for enemies and stuff like that. It's great. Really couldn't recommend it more highly.
Go check it out. Downwell, iOS and Steam, available now. How much?
$3.
Come on.
I don't know what's on Steam, but it's $3 on iOS.
I'm sure it's similarly priced.
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
$5 at the most.
Yeah.
All right, there you have it. A lot of stuff we covered this week. Well done, sir.
Running the gamut.
We're back next week. Back to the Future Month continues. I'll talk about my interview with Bob Gale and Alan Silvestri. If you've got something you want me to talk to Bob Gale about, shoot me an email, the44@cnet.com. Reach out on Twitter @Jeff Bacalar. Russ is @RussFrushtick. We're back next week with a brand new show. Until then, I'm Jeff Bacalar.
I'm Russ Frushtick.
This has been the 404 Show. High tech, low brow. Big thanks to everyone tuning in, writing in, calling in, whatever you're doing. Keep it up. We'll see you next time.